Yes, you read the headline right. I almost moved to Puerto Rico. I currently live in Miami, Florida. I pay no state income tax, but me and my girlfriend were looking at maybe moving to Puerto Rico and saving all of our federal taxes. And I learned a ton on the trip. I loved Puerto Rico. I loved where we were staying in Dorado. We were staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, how could you not love that? And in this video, I want to kind of break down our thought process, why we wanted to go out to Puerto Rico, why we went out there, what happened. And if you are thinking about making this move to Puerto Rico, there is a better way. And we actually found a solution. We found a better way to live anywhere that you want, which I think is like the biggest thing, to be able to live wherever the hell you want to and still make money and still keep as much money as you possibly can. And just for context, we are pulling in a couple $100,000 every single month in pure profit. So we have a very, very high net income. So the move to Puerto Rico actually would have made financial sense, but I'm gonna show you a little bit breakdown of the numbers and what we thought about as we went through this entire process. So hopefully this can help you make a decision about your move to Puerto Rico. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm gonna share my screen, share my iPad, we can go through it together. So Puerto Rico is on a lot of people's minds because you get to save money on taxes, right? And the amount of money that you would save on taxes by moving to Puerto Rico is 37%. Right? Because most people who move to Puerto Rico would be able to save their federal income tax. So they wouldn't no longer pay federal income tax. So for example, for me and my girlfriend who make, let's call it $250K a month profit times 12. So we make $3 million a year in net income. You times that by 37%, that's $800,000 that we would save. So $800,000 that we can save by just moving to Puerto Rico, right? $800,000 divided by 12 is $60,000 a month. Now, currently we live in Miami, right? And our living expenses are not bad. We don't have a car. We have, this is a funny story, but we have 2 apartments. We each pay $3,000 a month for the apartment. So that's $6K. Then we have groceries and blah, blah, blah. Let's just say that we're living right now for like $10K a month. So we're living right now for $10,000 a month and we could save $60,000 a month by moving to Puerto Rico. We were like, holy shit, this gets like all of our living expenses paid. We can get a bunch of cars, we can get whatever we want, and we can get a driver. We were like, holy shit, we can do whatever the fuck we want to. We would be saving literally $60,000 a month in taxes. And that is true. That is all true. And I think that's why a lot of people do move to Puerto Rico and make that move, is because they look and run these numbers and then they're like, holy shit, Puerto Rico, let's look at the living expenses. This was one of the things that really caught us by surprise when we went out there. So right now we have 2 1-bedroom apartments for $3K per month each, $6K. So we're all in for $10K here in Miami. Now, Puerto Rico, just to have like a place in Dorado. So Dorado's kind of like this gated community in Puerto Rico that all the super rich millionaires, billionaires kind of live. If you move to Puerto Rico, you want to live there. It's like living at a resort. It's like has a golf course. It has this and that. There's a water park. There's a gym. There's pickleball courts, tennis courts, soccer field. It's amazing. Logan Paul lives there. Jake Paul lives there. I ran into Jake Paul when I was there. It's pretty cool. So you have this. To live in there, it costs $15K per month. That's just for your rent. So it's $15K per month just for rent. Now, to live in Dorado, you have to pay a membership fee. That membership fee costs $40,000 a year. So that's an additional, let's call it $4K per month for membership. Then you have dues, and dues are every single month, and those are another, I think they're a little over $1,000. Let's just call it $1K per month, okay? So you're already at $20,000 a month. But then you don't want to live in Puerto Rico for the whole year. You probably only want to be there for 6 months of the year, right? Miami, you could be like, fuck yeah, Miami, I can live here for 12 months a year. It's, whatever. It's like, there's lots of stuff going on. So you're already at $19,000. So you're already double your Miami budget. But then in Puerto Rico, you probably want to travel. I mean, a lot of those guys who live in Puerto Rico, they'll tell you they travel a lot, right? But then you have to travel. So you have to do flights. Flights are much more expensive from Puerto Rico because you have to stop everywhere. It doesn't have many direct flights. The car ride from Dorado to the airport is an hour. So that's going to cost you $100 extra every time you want to travel. You probably want to travel for 6 months of the year, right? Because you only have to live there for 6 months. You're not going to really, unless you can bring your family over there and pay for them, but then you just doubled your expenses. Then you have to travel for 6 months a year. Like when you travel, let's say it costs you like $10K per month to travel. So if you're traveling 6 months of the year, that's an extra $5K per month for 2 people and a dog. Now you're pretty high up there. Also, food in Puerto Rico, because you live in Dorado, you live in this resort, is way higher. Instead of our all-in cost in Miami for food and stuff being like a couple $1,000, to do that in Puerto Rico, it's double that. So let's just say food is just $5K because there's only a couple of restaurants. They're all amazing. They're all very expensive. You're at the Ritz-Carlton. So they're all very expensive. Now, what are we at? 4, 5, so that's 20. So you're at $30K per month. So pretty much half of your tax savings is gone. you're living, you know, a similar-ish lifestyle to living in Miami with just 10K, to be honest. You can get, even if me and my girlfriend lived in one single apartment, we can get a, you know, apartment for 5K, 6K, 7K for a 2 or 3 bedroom. So it'd be a little bit higher, right? But we're talking half the cost to be in Miami, to where we're cool with being here for 6 months of the year. I have family here. I have friends here. I have soccer here. There's people that travel here that I get to network and do business with. For half the cost, I can live in Puerto Rico. So I can live them in Miami. It's double the price to live in Puerto Rico, right? So this is kind of the math that we're starting to think about. And also just like quality of life. What's your happiness score here? Would you be happy? And then here, would you be like, meh? Like, what is that worth to you? So like, if you go to Puerto Rico and you're like, oh my God, this is like fucking heaven on earth, then like, I get it. But for us, it wasn't that feeling. For example, I'm happy here in Miami, and my girlfriend's more like this in Miami. And then both of us were like this in Dorado. So it's like, well, this is better. You know, you have a score of 1 here and 1, you know, 1 versus 0. So 1 wins. You know what I'm saying? So it also is like this happiness kind of score, because at the end of the day, it is money. And, you know, if you loved California so much so that you were willing to pay those taxes, then you should pay those taxes and you should move to California. You see what I mean? So this is kind of what we started going through. And then we were like, okay, cool. What if we don't go to Puerto Rico? What can we do to live in the States, right? So as I shared with you up above, we have $3 million a year in income. So let's say you make $3 million a year, right? And you want to write off all this income. So you have to reduce this amount as much as you possibly can. And we have $3 million in take home per year. In order to reduce this, there's a couple of different things you could do. 1, you can move to Puerto Rico and not pay federal tax. 2, you have to invest that money to get a write-off. If you can invest it into your business, fantastic, go ahead and invest it in your business. With us, we didn't have an investable business that pretty much, the more money we put into the business, it did not make any more additional capital, because everything for sales is really just like content related. So there wasn't much that we can do to write this off. Now, we have $300,000 a year in income. So there's a couple of different things you can do. You can do multifamily as a GP, which means you go out there, you find the deal, you raise the capital, or you just do the deal yourself and you do bonus depreciation, okay? Then you do Airbnb and you run this as a business and you get bonus depreciation, okay? In order to get a write-off for active income, you have to do something active. So you can't just like invest it into a fund or do something passive or like put it in the stock market, whatever. It has to be something you are actively doing. So it has to be something you are actively involved in. And these are the two like areas that you can kind of do it in. That would allow you to write off $3 million. Obviously you could buy the single family home rentals and try to write off some of that money. It's gonna be really, really tough to write off $3 million in net income from that, okay? Also just bonus depreciation for residential doesn't work as great as multifamily. Here's the 2 avenues we went down. 1, you can do Airbnbs. You can do Airbnbs in Orlando, you know, Phoenix, and you would buy these Airbnbs. Nobody really could tell us how much money we could make, so we just assumed that we could make like 10%. I don't have any knowledge about this field or anything like that. Pretty much to write off $3 million in net income for a year, you take your $3 million and buy $9 million of real estate, of Airbnbs, okay? You would get a loan, obviously, you'd put 30% down. So you put like 30% down and you would get-ish 30% bonus. And that 30% bonus is on this. So pretty much you have $3 million cash, right? You would buy $9 million worth of properties and you would get $3 million of depreciation, which would go against your $3 million income. So then your taxes, because you're paying 47%, right, of the $3 million, so you're paying 1.1 million in taxes, would go to essentially 0. Then you would have these Airbnbs. So pretty much you invested $3 million to make 1.1 million plus 10% on your money, on this money right here. That's a pretty fucking good return. So $3 million times 10% is gonna get you like 25K a month, yeah, plus you saved $1.1 million. So that's a pretty fucking good return on your money, because that's a 33% just in year 1 plus 25K per month, okay? Now, Airbnbs are great. To buy $9 million in Airbnb, this right here is tough. I don't have much experience. My girlfriend doesn't have much experience doing this. There's a lot of Airbnbs for sale right now. Whenever I see a lot of stuff for sale, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. It was kind of tough to be able to go from 0 Airbnbs to buying like $9 million worth of Airbnbs. It just wasn't something that we thought was really plausible, something that we really wanted to do. So then we're like, okay, cool. What's another way that we can do this? As you may or may not know, my name's Antoine. I have a real estate fund called Red Brick Equity. We go out there and buy apartment buildings, renovate them, rent them out. The reason why we wanted to do Airbnbs is that if you do Airbnbs, these, you don't have to be a real estate professional. But luckily, my girlfriend is a real estate professional, which opens us up, something we learned, which opens us up to other types of real estate. So if you are not a real estate professional, you cannot do what I'm about to share with you. But if you are a real estate professional and you get that classification, or you need help getting that classification, go ahead and look it up and see if your CPA can help you get it. Now, if you are a real estate professional, which they call REP, you can take your $3 million, okay? You can buy $9 million worth of apartment, which is really like 90 units. So you can buy 90 units of apartment with your $9 million bucks. You can get financing on this. For these, I'm doing 30% down. Typically, it's gonna be more like 20% down. Let's just say that that's the case. So you take your $3 million. This here, we can bonus depreciate around 30%. So that would save us $3 million in taxes, well, in net income. So you have $3 million, which writes off the $3 million in income, which means you pay $0 in taxes. You pay $0 in taxes. Apartments, instead of making 10%, again, I don't know much about Airbnb, sorry, but I talked to probably a dozen realtors and brokers, Airbnb companies, to try to give me a fucking straight line answer, and nobody can give me one. That tells me I'm smelling some bullshit. Or it just tells me like, results may vary. And it's like, well, with apartments, results don't really vary. You know, like if you buy a turnkey building, you're making 15 or 20% clockwork. And the big hedge fund, BlackRock, is making fucking 15, 20%. All right, anyways, side tangent. So let's say you take that $3 million, you save, $1 million in taxes, so you make a 33% return. But then on top of that, apartments are gonna make you 15% return on your money. You have this like, versus Airbnb, which is 10, you would make 15, which is a 5% increase. But also way less fucking work. Like to buy this is easy, so long as you can find the deal. But like if you can find the fucking deal for the apartments, find a 90 unit building. The hardest part of apartments is getting the money, getting the cash to be able to do it. It's not finding the deals. The deals is the easy part. So this is what we ended up doing. We are taking our money, we are buying apartments, we're buying 90 units because we're real estate professionals. We're taking that $3 million, we're able to write off pretty much all of our taxable income. We'll probably pay a little bit of taxes, but then we're buying these apartment buildings, and these apartment buildings are gonna cash flow us money every single month. So just imagine you have $3 million making you 15% per year. You make $450,000 bucks a year, and you didn't have to pay any of that money. You just took every single dollar you made from your business and dumped it into apartment. You're now making $450,000 a month. Then you do 450 divided by 12 is $40,000. So now we're making 40K per month. And I already told you my living expenses. My living expenses, there's my dog. My living expenses are 10,000. So now we're clearing 30 grand a month. 30 grand a month just in year one, right? And then obviously you have the compounding effect. Then year two, you're gonna do this again. So you're gonna do this again. This is like goes to 2x. Then in a couple years it goes to 4x. So now you're making $3 million a month passively. You don't have to pay taxes on this income because most of it's a write-off and gonna be depreciated. So now you're making, if you make $3 million bucks a month, that's $250K a month in income, tax-free-ish. You're obviously gonna have to pay a little bit of taxes on the cash flow and stuff like that, but it's not as bad as like having a business that goes with write-offs 37%. So this is our strategy. If you are in a similar situation and you want help doing this, breaking this down for you, click the link top of the description. We'd love to help you out. This is literally my most favorite thing to do, is to help people financially plan. I should be a financial planner, but like financially look at their business. Like, dude, sometimes it makes more sense to put more money into your business. Sometimes it makes more sense to do this. Sometimes it makes sense to move. Sometimes it does not. It depends on your kids, your family, how many dogs, how many animals you have. There's a lot of different factors, which is why I love it, because some people get on with me after they click the link down below, book a call with me. They get on with me and I'm like, dude, you don't need to invest in apartments. You need to like dump your money into ads for your business. You'll be way richer and pay the tax. You know what I mean? So thanks for staying until the end of the video. I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully if you are in a similar situation like this, click the link top of the description. It's an investor insider kit. It's gonna show you a couple different deals, how to invest in real estate with 401k, how to do stuff like this. Also show you a deal we're raising money on. So if you are accredited, which if you're watching this video, you probably are, you make over 200,000 bucks a year, $300,000 net income, or $1 million net worth, click the link top of the description. We'd love to hop on a call with you to help you through this. Thanks for staying until the end of the video, and I'll see you on the next one.